quilting friends, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and today I'm unboxing this Baby Lock Zest. I was out of town unexpectedly and needed to get a quilting project done, so I bought this Zest from the local Baby Lock dealer where I was. Now, the Baby Lock Zest is a very basic machine, but that's all I needed. I just needed a machine that would do straight stitches. And if you are new to quilting, something like the Zest might be a spot that you start. Now, I love my Baby Lock Jubilant and my Baby Lock Aria and my Baby Lock Sashiko machine as well. And the different machines have different bells and whistles, which can help out with things like free motion quilting or just make the process of quilting faster with things like an automatic needle threader or a sensor that tells me when my bobbin is out. But for most quilting and quilt piecing, something like the Zest will get you just fine. So we're going to go ahead and take her out of the box, get her set up, and I'm going to show you how to get all started with a brand new machine. So yes, this box has already been opened up before because I have used this machine. So we're just going to go ahead and take this out of the box. And you do want to be careful when you're taking a machine out of the box. You don't want to drop anything. Higher end machines can have like knobs that you want to be careful with. So you always want to be careful when taking your machine out of the box. So I'm going to get this set up. I have my presser foot. Now for this machine, the presser foot plugs in and is the power cord all at once. So that's really handy. I've had it before, well, I'll pack up my whole machine and I'll remember the presser foot, but forget my power cord. So this is a great travel machine because it's just one cord set that you can remember to take with you. I still have the plastic bags and whatnot that came with the machine. And of course, the manual for the machine and all the instructions. So you'll want to keep that handy. There we go. This is the Baby Lock Zest. Now, this is a mechanical machine. It doesn't have any computer screens or anything like that. Everything is done with knobs. This right here is going to be for back stitching or reverse stitching. Here, super well labeled, is my length. And here is the selector for the kind of stitch that I want to do. And this right here is going to be my tension. Now, most of the time, you're not going to mess with any of these knobs. Most of the time, if you're a quilter like me, it's just going to be straight stitching. So let me go ahead and turn. So right here on the side of the machine, this could be the back, we have the power switch, and then we have the spot for just plugging in our presser foot and power cord. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. And I already had this switched on accidentally, so the machine's already on. It's that easy. So I've plugged it in. Let me turn the machine so it's facing me. Okay, I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. Now you'll see that I have a line right here on the machine. I actually drew that on. I was doing some half square triangles and I wanted a line to make it easier to stitch those. So I just drew that right on the machine. It's not for anything, just reference. And it definitely didn't come that way. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the front of my machine. And I'm going to pull out the bobbin. Now this is a front loading bobbin. It's different than my other Baby Lock machines, which are top loading bobbins. So to thread a front loading bobbin, you're going to take this and you've got this little arm that's kind of waving at you. We're going to stick that up. And then this thread is getting wrapped on clockwise, which means it comes off counterclockwise. So This is getting the thread on. That's unraveling the thread. Hopefully you can see that. And so we're just going to pop the thread in this little notch right here and then bring it up. And there's going to click right in that little metallic spot right here. And that's how easy it is to load your bobbin thread in the bobbin. And when you hold this, your bobbin should spool clockwise. So go the same direction as the hands on a clock would. I just want to cut my thread a little shorter. I don't need all this long thread. And it has this little handle. And I can just pop my bobbin in. Let me put this so that hopefully you can see right there. There's a little notch where that little hand is going to go. And just snaps right in. And so now you have this bobbin thread just hanging out. And that's okay. We're going to do something with that in just a second. Now I'm going to thread the machine. So from here on top, it has these two little spots for thread. We just need one. I'm just going to put my thread on there. And the instructions are right on top of the machine, the little arrows. So the thread's going from this arrow to this arrow, and then I'm going to the number 1. And I'm hooking around the number 1. Now, pretty much every machine threads the same way, where you start with a hook at the top, and then you go down and around, and then back through a hook at the top again. And you'll see that this one goes up and down and up and down and up and down as you sew, and that helps with the tension. So you want to make sure that you've gone through this first, down and around, and through the second. You don't want to skip over this first, skipping this, and go just to this one. So yeah, we've gone 1, and then there's number 2 down here, the number 3 up here, and they're going down. There's a number 4 right here. Now we can take our thread, and there is usually some kind of hook or clasp, something up here right before the needle that just directs the thread right to the needle. And then I'm just going to use my scissors again and cut a clean end off of my thread. And then I'm just going to thread it right through the needle. Now the eye of the needle is always facing forward on a standard sewing machine, so you're just poking the thread from front to back to thread your machine. And I'm going to lift up this lever, and my machine's threaded. Okay, that felt a little loose. I wanted to make sure that everything was nice and tight. So now we want to bring our bobbin thread up. So all we're going to do is go down. You're going to see the thread loop around here. It's going to grab that bobbin thread. You're going to see this hook come back up to the top, and you're going to be able to pull your bobbin thread. And so in this way we have both our top thread and our bobbin thread that are underneath the presser foot. So they're both right there. Now we can close this up and hide it away. And we're ready to do some sewing. So I have my machine all set up, and there's one last step that I want to take to make sure that I get nice 1/4 inch seam allowance when I'm sewing with this machine. Now you can get a 1/4 inch foot for your machine, and that's a great option. I didn't grab a 1/4 inch foot for this machine yet, though it's definitely on my list. So I'm going to be using diagonal seam tape to mark my 1/4 inch line. Now I sell this in my shop, and I've got a link down below, but most quilt shops will sell it as well, and it's super easy to install, and will give you that 1/4 inch line so you can get a nice 1/4 inch seam allowance on your quilts. So I'm just going to unroll some of this here, and then I'm lining this up right with the 10mm line. There we go. Come here. Just shy. There we go. And when I put my presser foot down and I put the needle down, it goes right in the middle of that red line, which lets me know, yes, I've put it in the right spot. Now, this seam tape has covered up my, my feed dogs, which is definitely not what I want to do. So I'm going to pull this forward because those feed dogs under there are super important. Let me get those threads out of the way. I'm just going to cut this just shy of those feed dogs. There we go. So I've got my 1/4 inch line all marked. And this I can just toss. Diagonal seam tape is super inexpensive. I'm okay tossing bits as I go because one roll is going to last a really long time. And again, it's not that expensive. Okay, so I have this all marked. Now I can grab my 2 pieces of fabric, put them right sides together. And using my 1/4 inch mark here on my diagonal seam tape. There we go. I'll piece a really nice 1/4 inch seam. For a fully mechanical machine like this, when you end, you always want to bring this right back up to the top. And what that'll do is it'll make sure that you don't unthread your needle every time you start a new seam. So if you have your machine set up and you're sewing, and every time that you sew a new seam, you unthread your needle on every first stitch, it's because you haven't brought the thread all the way up at the end of your last stitch. So before you cut off a piece, you just want to make sure that you bring this up, and that way you can cut your threads and know that when you start your next one, which I'll go ahead and do, that you won't unthread your machine in the process. Because the first thing it's going to do is bring that thread down rather than try to pull it up. And you can keep going, so we can chain piece these one after another, just stitching these without having to trim in between. And there we go. It's that simple to get your machine all set up and get sewing. This again was the Baby Lock Zest. I did purchase this myself at a Baby Lock dealer when I was out of town, and it is now just my fun little extra machine. I have decided to name her, and her name is going to be Holidays. If you want a little backstory about all my machines, I have my Baby Lock Jubilant named Saturday and my Aria named Sunday, so that I could say I only quilt on Saturday and Sunday. I also quilt on days that end in Y, which is my Sashiko machine, and of course, I'll now quilt on holidays. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if it was. Make sure you've given this video a thumbs up to let other people know that they should watch this video and that it was informative as well. And make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I have so many quilting videos that I love to share, and if you're subscribed, you'll be the first to know about all my new videos. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.